food, we're buying convenience, and we're buying it to our detriment because we don't feel good and we're not doing good, right? And we know that we're meant for more, and we know that we want to feel better, but there's a lack of information out there. And you see, like I said, how happy these people are. Or this is where we started with my own kids. My own kids were sick. My own kids were taking ambulance rides to the hospital. They couldn't breathe. They needed an EpiPen. They wouldn't be released from the hospital because they couldn't they didn't recover the breathing. And so, I think there was so much of that. And so we took matters into our hands, and we started researching every doctor for medical training and stuff like that. And for me, the easiest thing to do was to implement a diet change. We threw out all the processed food, the seed oils, the liquid calories. We brought in nose-to-tail, wild-caught, organic foods, cheaply nose-to-tail stuff like liver and bone soups. Within about a week, our kids did a 180. And they're no longer having, they just couldn't even sit here and have a conversation without wheezing. They couldn't breathe, right? We take this for granted, breathing. They couldn't even breathe, right, with that kind of freedom. And so when we did this, it's like the light bulb came on. The personalities, their true personalities came through. I don't know what would have happened if we sort of subsisted like that for 15, 20 years. Like, what kind of humans would they evolve to become? And within the space of almost a week, this is what happened. So I think what's gone wrong is, out of convenience, because you can get cheap food, right? You're still going to pay for this, right, some other way, because you feel like shit, your joints hurt, you're not able to do nearly a fraction, express your potential. So that's where I think we went wrong, is we're eating stuff out of convenience and because the price point is so low today.
You're the first guest I've ever had on this show that's actually brought their family with them. And your family, I've got to meet them, lovely family, before we started recording. One of your tenants, I guess you could say number 9, but also I guess number 5, a little bit more about the earth, but number 9 about bonding. When I was writing and looking at the topic of loneliness, one of the stats that was really alarming to me was that the medium answer to the question for Americans these days, how many people have you got that you could turn to in a time of crisis, has dropped over the last decade from 3 people I could turn to 0. And in the UK, Theresa May was the first Prime Minister to appoint a loneliness czar, someone in charge of loneliness because it's reached pandemic levels. Why is it so important? And what have we done wrong in terms of that 9th tenant, which is bonding? Because I thought it was really awesome that your family are here and that you travel with them. But we are getting lonelier. There's a cost to that.
Thank you for saying so. I stay with you. I don't go anywhere without them. I take them everywhere I go. I need them. I need them to feel fulfilled. My most important job is as a dad. And, so where I think we went wrong is, people are on this thing today that we call a phone. And they're on there nonstop. They're on some kind of screen. When I've talked to enough people.
I like this. I feel that. There are parallels between me and this man, although he's much more fit than me. We share the same first name. We both had a father in the Air Force. I take my family everywhere. My boys are still with me, even though they're 19 and 22, and I need them. And their mom. Real glad I have them.
Most people that I talk to, they hate their jobs. They come home to a life that they don't love. And they sedate themselves enough with screen time, with Netflix, with a phone, with medication to feel better.
I do work every day.
We call it their lives. And they're sedating themselves just enough.
And it's not my own company.
And we've allowed this
yet
to happen. Right? My kids get 40 minutes a day on the screen time if they right? And here's what happens when you put down that damn phone, you have these kind of conversations, and you get in a little group, of people doing the same thing. Again, you get this electricity, the chemistry, the culture that can only happen. These intangible things happen when you connect, when you look someone in the eye and you feel them heart to heart. Right? When you're that authentic, when you're true, when you're primal. This is you see this with every primitive culture. They don't have phones. They don't have any screens. They want to have fun. They're sitting around a fire.
Dog hair on everything.
And so today it's just so pervasive. And no one's
My dad did, so I did.
No one's doing anything about it, right? And so I do think a lot.
I don't mind doing things my dad does.
And again, it's all 9 ancestral tenets, but this one bonding. We've always needed each other.